Behind me, on a shelf, is my entire garden for 2026. And I need to water that thing. Otherwise, the plants are never going to sprout. Guys, they said I was crazy. They said I was crazy for starting my garden in my living room. Who's laughing now? Who's laughing now? That's right. We're going to get snow in a couple of days, and it's going to be cold outside. But here, my little seedlings are going to be nice and toasty in my living room. And I need to water them. I will show you all the plants, and we can talk a little bit about how you can start a garden in your house as well. Um, it's economical. You don't have to build a greenhouse. You don't have to spend a bazillion dollars. Just find a nice sunny window. But there are some caveats that come along with using a nice sunny window. Your plants can dry out pretty quick. And if you use those little plastic domes to start your seedlings, mold can grow. Your whole garden can get wiped out before it even sprouts. So you gotta be careful, guys. You gotta be absolutely 1000% careful. Yeah, so without further ado, here we go. I got a mobile camera. I'm going to try to pull it up. There we go. And let's see if I can face the camera. Is that facing me? No, that's facing that way. There I am. All right, guys. We are in jammy pants. We're walking over here to the seeds that I have started. And I have labeled right here. You can see we got Mariglobe tomatoes. Over here we got all sorts of things. Basil, mint, thyme. Here we got Wisconsin 55 tomato. Over here we got some kind of onion. We got onions growing. Holy cow, I even have a sprout popping up. Super incredible. That's a fast growing seed, whatever it was. We need to get some moisture on these just so they don't dry out, guys. We got heat mats for when the going gets tough. We got all of our seeds. We got dirt buckets and all sorts of wonderful things. And on this metal rack, we have grow lights. And it's a pretty decent setup, I'm not going to lie. The window that they are in actually stops getting direct sunlight somewhere around noon, which is probably good. In the past, I've put it over on the south-facing window, and that has really dried out my plants and made it difficult. But on this side of the room, we get the sun until about noon, and that's obviously the hottest part of the day and such. But it still gets indirect light. The sun hasn't even risen over my barn, as you can see, and we still have daylight shining through. It's just not that direct sunlight. And that's where the grow lights come into play. So super awesome, super special. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set this camera down. I got to go get some water really quick here. And I'm going to be watering my plants. But while I'm retrieving the water, I will do do a little bit of chitter chatter. Um, yeah, I mean, I think the biggest thing is uh, just making sure that I'm keeping the moisture in those plants, that they're not drying out, and I also have to watch for mold. So that's definitely some keys. So I am filling up a little watering can, and I'm going to make sure that those are adequately moistened. Now, depending on your frost date, some plants require you to water your plants 10 or to start your seeds like 10 weeks before your last frost date. Some are 8 weeks, some are 6 weeks. Really depends on the variety, but I would say a lot of tomato varieties you can start 10 weeks ahead of time, 8 weeks ahead of time. Peppers are the ones that you gotta really start early. Some of those might be 12 weeks even. But here's something that most people don't think about. You might have a wood floor, and watering, you wouldn't want to spill water on your wood floor. So you got to be cautious to not spill water everywhere, like I am doing actively. So you got to be careful. I'm trying not to have these greenhouse covers on too tight. Holy mackerel. I have filled this thing too hard. I don't think that made sense. But I made a mistake at work. I work security, and I did not lock a greenhouse, of all things, believe it or not. And security it's like the top priority. But it was my first time making a mistake. I was having some pain in my foot. I don't want to make excuses. I definitely want to learn from my mistake. But I did not lock the greenhouse. And it's kind of funny, of of all things that I didn't do. Now I've made sure that the greenhouse has been secure on many an occasion, but tonight in particular I was having some pain in my my right foot, and I was having a difficult time walking around. I have to walk a significant distance to do my security checks or whatever. But when I got to the greenhouse, I guess I was just distracted and I did not make sure that the door was locked, which is kind of embarrassing because, the supervisor found out just before the end of the shift and got a hold of me, and I haven't been disciplined since I started my job. So, considering my job is security, I was anticipating just getting written up or something. So I asked him on the way out the door if I was going to face some discipline. And he said, "Do you want discipline?" I said no. I did not. But, I just asked because, I know it's a serious thing and I don't want to do that again. And, I want to sleep at night. I don't want to feel like I'm gonna get fired. So I, thought I'd just see where I stood after that. But he implied and said there wasn't any discipline. You don't want to have that happen twice or 3 times for sure. I'm assuming at some point the grace runs out. But anyway, that's fun. So you just definitely want to make sure your plants are getting watered. These are already looking dry. They're not going to sprout very well if the seeds are not being moistened. So I got to stay on top of that. I think that should be good for this one. What do I have planted here? I don't have it labeled anymore. Oh wait, this is some kind of a pepper. Which is great. I got tomatillos. These are feeling dry, so I'm going to make sure they're moist. So anyway, guys, I don't mind kind of embarrassing myself and telling other people my mistakes. I told some coworkers right away that I made that mistake. They grimaced. It's the cardinal error. But, I prefer to learn from my mistakes and hold myself accountable and, help other people by telling them my mistakes. I actually learn from hearing about other people's mistakes. I prefer to hear about other people's mistakes so I can learn, other than making the mistake myself. It's just one of those things where I was ridiculously distracted because of the pain I was feeling. So, and there's no excuse. But there you have it. There you have it. So most of these plants look like they're pretty moist. I don't see any mold setting in yet. I have it so that they're kind of vented. I don't have a lot of airflow coming at these though, which might help. I do have a ceiling fan running, but I know. Uh-oh. What's that grinding noise? Uh-oh. Oh. That's making noise. Great. I might need a new washing machine now. I've only fixed the washing machine like once. And since we use the washing machine every day. Another project, guys. Another project. Oh well. But yeah. So the seeds are started. The washing machine sounds like it's busted. I gotta figure that out, but I need sleep. So I'm gonna head off, get some sleep. But my 2026 garden is off to a fantastic start. My washing machine is grinding. There we have it, guys. You know what? Maybe I'll water one more thing here. Oop. I also recommend having a clear path to get to your plants because I'm tripping over stuff. Let's see. That feels dry, actually. What do we got? We got sweet pepper. Oh, I'm gonna trip over my stuff. Eee. All right. I better water these peppers. There we go. I don't like hearing that grinding noise. Holy cow. All right. Peppers are watered. And there's two plants that like came up, so I must have had some seeds from last year in there. But I don't know what they are. They're definitely something though. Let's see if I can get back in here without tripping on this trampoline. Probably not. Yeah, it's way too close. I'm definitely gonna trip. Ugh. All right. Beautiful. Tomatoes. You know what? Let me get a little more water on some of these. My Mariglobe tomato. Here we go. Well, I say good enough. Oh no, I didn't even water my onions, did I? It's something I didn't do, guys. Like I planted my onions, but I don't think I added water to my onions. It's crazy. All right. Well, make sure you water your plants. It's super easy, guys. I mean, there's a lot of like gardeners out there that are just like, they overcomplicate it. It's just like put seeds in soil, do the recommended depth, and you'll be fine. You don't need a fancy setup. Like, if you have a shelf, just put them on the shelf. You don't need to spend $1 bazillion, but anyway. I need sleep. There's my incredible gardening video for you guys. Have a good one, and we'll see you on the flippity floppity, live from my living room. Daniel signing off. See you on the next one, guys. See you on the next one. Look at that sun rising.